What's up, bros? I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
We are a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we'll be talking about quite a bit 4K Spotlight. We got technically 5 titles coming out, so that's freaking exciting. My wallet hurts, but you know, that's okay. We got nothing for Through the Wall. So after we talk about 4K Spotlight, we will jump right into our headliner of the evening, which will be our breakdown of the 2022 film Prey.
Hell yeah.
So, Caleb, what do you say we get started?
I say let's do it.
Need motivation? Angry Dad Podcast. Trying to jumpstart your life? Angry Dad Podcast. You want help getting off the couch? Angry Dad Podcast. You need a verbal kick in the ass? Angry Dad Podcast. You want to hear from somebody who's been through it all? Angry Dad Podcast. I am here for you. You can find me on all podcast platforms.
Alright, so this week on 4K Spotlight, we have some new Scream Factory titles coming out, or Shout Factory, whatever you want to call it. We will be getting the first 3 Child's Play films on 4K, which is very, very exciting. And so you can get just the regular release that just comes with the classic posters. Well, at least the Child's Play 2 and 3 are the classic posters, but the cover for Child's Play is the cover that they used years back when Scream Factory did just a Blu-ray release of Child's Play. But if you go on Scream Factory's website and you want to spend a shit ton of money, you can get the bundles. Well, okay, maybe not bundles. Well, no, yeah, they are bundles. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So they have 3 bundles of these Child's Play films. The first one comes with, and this one is frickin', I think, like $250.
Holy shit.
Dude, man, it's Shout Factory. What do you expect?
I don't know, something reasonable maybe?
So this one you get all 3 of the Child's Play films, including 2 exclusive slipcovers for Child's Play 2 and 3, 3 posters of the movies, and what else do you get? You get a set of postcards. You get a little enamel pin, and you get a burned Chucky NECA figure. If you want to step down from that, literally just take away the postcards and the enamel pin, and that's what you got here. And that set is $150. And then the
Wait. Hold up.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that I can... Well, how much was the first one? $250?
It's like $220.
Okay, so you're telling me that I can spend $220, get basically if I were to purchase something for $220, I could get the exact same thing minus some stupid postcards and a pin, and only pay $150?
Yes.
That is as much of a ripoff as I've ever heard in my entire life. Are you kidding me?
I mean, but the postcards have one of the classic shots from, I can't remember if it was on the set of Child's Play 2 or 3, where they have like Chucky slinging his arm back on his actor chair, smoking a cigar.
Dude, that's a $70 difference.
Oh yeah, no, it's
you can go F yourself. If you think that I'm going to spend $70 just to get some postcards and an enamel pin, you can go jump in a creek for the rest of your life if you think that that's even kind of reasonable.
It's funny you say that, because that's the one on the website that's sold out.
Holy shit, I hate it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just want to see your reaction. I love that. I hate this world.
Dude, I was about to friggin' flip my desk.
Over some freaking Child's Play movies, really? That's
Dude,
what makes
for
you
people that spend $70 extra just to get a postcard and pin.
I will not lie. If all the postcards were signed by Brad Dourif, yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense. Okay, like, hey, you get these postcards and a pin, but they're signed by Brad Dwarf. Or Brad, did I say dwarf?
Yeah, that's Brad Dourif.
Brad Dorf.
Wow.
Yeah. How about no? Only if they were signed by Chucky himself would that even be remotely worth it.
I love how you don't even want to try to pronounce his last name again.
I know, I just butchered it so bad the first time, I just didn't feel brave enough.
But yeah, if you don't want the NECA figure though, their cheapest set, which I think this one's 120, comes with literally everything that you got in the previous set minus the NECA figure. So,
how much cheaper is that one?
I think $112.
Holy shit.
Well, you got to remember that each 4K is $30 each. And so, you're incorporating the price of the posters and the slipcovers. So honestly, that's actually not too bad of a price.
It is still $70 extra for a postcard and pin.
Yeah,
nothing about that says reasonable. Now, the 112, you said 112?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay, the $112 for everything, not including the figure, postcards, and pin, that is reasonable to me. Taking into the consideration that each Blu-ray is $30.
So,
but you're treading a really thin line with me.
But it's Child's Play, man.
Man, I'm at that. I'm just like, no. You can make smarter financial decisions.
Damn. Well, I'm glad I didn't purchase the big one then.
Dude, I'd be roasting you so freaking hard.
Oh, damn. Well, anyway, moving on from that. So yeah, if you want to get any of those sets, you'll have to order them off the Shout Factory website. But if you just want literally just the bare bones 4K releases of these 3 films, you can get them anywhere. Amazon, I'm assuming Walmart probably, or at least Walmart's website, and Best Buy. So, yeah. Me though, I had to order one of these. And I'm gonna let Caleb decide which one he thinks I did. So, anyway, moving on. The next big release we got is Jurassic World Dominion. This movie will be getting a Best Buy... Actually, wait, no, I don't even know if this is a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. I think it's just a Steelbook.
Just like a normal everyday...
Yeah, it doesn't say it's exclusive to anywhere. Yeah, I can pre-order it right now on Amazon. I'm not going to. But so you'll be getting that, a bare bones 4K and Blu-ray release, as well as, shocker, a complete set of all 6 Jurassic Park films, which because I kind of want, when it goes on sale, to get the 6 film collection. So I swear to God, if they come out with a 7th one, I'm gonna be pissed.
Dude, no, I pray that this franchise is dead.
Did you see Dominion at all?
No, I did not. I don't even remember if I went to go see the second Jurassic World.
I literally saw Fallen Kingdom the day before I went and saw Dominion.
Is Fallen Kingdom the one where they escape into the normal world?
Yes, at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Then
Yeah.
I think I might have seen that one.
Okay. I will... No, that's spoiler. Never mind.
It's fine. I feel like it's impossible to spoil a Jurassic.
Okay.
But for
Well,
those of you
okay.
listening that don't want it spoiled, spoiler alert, skip ahead a couple minutes.
Yeah. I will admit, I wish that Colin Trevorrow would have made it more... What's the word? More, not dominant, but more upfront of how dinosaurs and humans coexisted. Because I feel like he just barely glances over it and then just moves into the plot of the story.
Dude, what bullshit! You can't
I feel
do
that it should be. Yeah, I feel it should be such a much bigger thing. Like, come on, humans and dinosaurs having to coexist. That shit's huge.
Oh my gosh, missed opportunities.
I will say though, it was really cool seeing the original trio back together again. That was really nice.
I feel like that'd be really cool. That's good. Brielle told me that it was really cool seeing them again, but it felt like they were trying really hard to basically hit all the nostalgia points from the previous movies.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't really argue on that.
Yeah. And I hate that shit. Forced nostalgia pisses me off.
Wait, she went and saw it, but you didn't?
Yeah, she went to go see it with Sam.
Oh, okay. Well, you really are not a Jurassic Park fan.
Well, I mean, I could have gone. It's just it would have been a lot more extra effort that I didn't want to spend.
Fair. You didn't... I'm not the hugest Jurassic Park fan. Like, I'm really not. I just kind of like the movies. Don't get me wrong, they're good. And the first Jurassic Park movie is, oh my god, a masterpiece. But I kind of just walked out of Dominion and be like, that was all right. I mean, it could have been a better cap to the whole Jurassic era, but, you know, I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Which sucks, because I expected a lot more from Colin Trevorrow, considering how much I loved, how much I enjoyed the first Jurassic World. But...
Yeah, like, I'll probably go and rewatch the first one, and then just watch Dominion when either you buy that movie or it comes to streaming. I'm not going to, like, put any...
Go out of your way?
Yeah, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch Dominion.
Oh, that's funny. I love that. I'm just going to watch the original and then this new one. But yeah, I don't think... It's not like this new freaking Halloween timeline.
Yeah, no.
I
meant the first Jurassic World.
I thought you meant the first Jurassic Park.
No. I liked the Jurassic Park series. Wasn't the biggest fan of 2, but I kind of have a soft spot for 3. But
you and JC would get along quite well because he does as well.
Yeah, the first one is my absolute favorite.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
The first Jurassic World, I'm kind of like, it was somewhat rewatchable.
I think for how they established the park, I think that's what makes it rewatchable.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second Jurassic World, I'm like, meh.
It's alright. Yeah, fair enough. I can't decide which is worse though, Dominion or Fallen Kingdom. I'll have to watch Dominion again.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting ranking.
Yeah. So enough shit talk on Jurassic World. So minus Jurassic World, another release coming from Universal will be The Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke, which I'm like 99% sure I'm gonna blind buy this bitch.
It kind of gives me the Last Night in Soho vibes.
Yes, I agree.
So I'm really excited for that one.
But other than that, that is really it for new releases. So, Caleb, what do you say we move on to our headliner of the evening?
I say let's do it.
All right, so before we move on, actually, I already effed up. And I know Caleb always tells me that I'll F up 4K Spotlight every single week, and I freaking did it this week.
Dude.
I forgot. I'm sorry, okay? I forgot.
I already played the themes, the music and everything.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to add this for anyone that wants it. There is also going to be a 4K Steelbook for the first Child's Play at Best Buy. So, that's what I forgot. I'm sorry.
Are you shitting me? It's the first thing you talked about.
I know, yeah, and it's Child's Play. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I could excuse it if it was Jurassic World, because, not the hugest fan of that franchise. But
if it was Jurassic
Child's
World,
Play?
I would have flown over to slap you. Like, you're screwing up our system for Jurassic World.
Well, sorry, I got to do it for Child's Play. I'm sorry.
Fine.
Wow. He's so kind to me.
Every once in a while.
Well, that hurt. I'm gonna silently cry inside. Moving on. Caleb, do you want to let people know how we break movies down on this podcast?
I would love to. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit into our algorithm and give us our final grade for the movie. And it gives us a letter grade to compare it to other movies of that same grade, and then a percentage so we can figure out like an actual like ranking. So with that, if you have not seen Prey, it is available on Hulu right now as we speak. So go check it out. Give this a watch, especially if you're a fan of the Predators movies in general, I would say. So go check it out. Don't spoil this movie for yourself. But with that, Rose is about to spoil the entire movie for you. So without further ado, Rose.
All right, let's see if I can screw this up. Challenge accepted. In 1719, in the Great Plains, Nauru, a young... Fuck, I'm already... God damn it. Comanche? Comanche, god damn it. Comanche woman, trained as a healer, dreams of becoming a great hunter like her brother, Tabi. Is that how you pronounced it?
Yep.
Yes. While tracking deer with her dog, oh my god.
That was right.
While tracking deer with her dog, she witnesses an anomaly in the sky, which she likens to the Thunderbird, actually a Predator spacecraft. She then takes this as a sign to prove herself. Really quickly, I don't know if you were just like this. When they freaking brought in that dog at first, I'm like, oh my god, it's Charlie!
It did look really close to that to her, huh?
It did.
For those of you that
I did not say it like that, though.
No, I feel you.
That was weird.
No, for those of you that don't know, Charlie is my parents' dog, and she's the cutest thing on the planet, and this dog was pretty freaking close.
Okay, I just want it documented that he just said that Charlie is cuter than his own daughter.
Dude, have you seen Charlie's, like, puppy dog eyes?
I mean, oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. Charlie is freaking adorable, but you just straight up said that a dog is cuter than your own daughter.
I said what I said.
Well, Uncle Rose doesn't like that, so. Anyway, Tabi agrees to bring her to join the search party for a lion that attacked one of the tribe's hunters, but only so she can provide medical treatment if they can find the hunter alive. I swear, every single time the tribe members that were with the brother and sister open their mouths, because I watched this with my sister, and literally, it felt like after like the first scene of them being dicks, like every single time the one of them opened their mouth, I just wanted to shout, "Shut the fuck up!"
We're really earning that explicit rating this episode, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't care.
Do you though?
No, seriously. Like,
Really? Okay.
Yeah, marking this as explicit is just like one button. Like, I don't give a shit.
Okay, cool. They retrieve the wounded hunter and depart, though Tabi stays behind to find the lion. Finding unusual tracks and a meticulously skinned rattlesnake, Naru circles back with Paki and finds Tabi. Together they set a trap for the lion, but it kills Paki. Naru wounds the cat, but fails and strikes her head after being distracted by a burst of light in the distance. Tabi carries her home and returns to kill the weakened lion, earning him title of war chief after completing the hunt. Convinced of a greater threat, Naru departs with Sari, and they come across a herd of skinned bison. And oh my god, I'm so effing this up. And later are attacked by a grizzly bear. The bear is killed by the predator, giving Naru time to escape before running into a group of is it Comanche or Comanche?
Comanche.
I keep forgetting. Comanche, goddammit. Sent to find her. The creature ambushes and kills them in combat. Naru is caught in a foothold trap, but the predator leaves when she is no longer a threat. French voyagers responsible for killing and skinning the bison find Naru and cage her. Their translator, Raphael Adolini, questions Naru about the predator with whose species he is familiar. When she refuses to talk, the lead voyager reveals that he has Tabi captive and tortures him with a knife before using both siblings as tied bait for the predator. The creature kills most of the Frenchmen while Tabi and Naru escape. Naru rescues Sari from the camp and stumbles across a dying Raphael, who teaches her how to use his flintlock pistol in exchange for her medical treatment. Naru gives him herbs that reduce his body heat to staunch the bleeding. When the predator arrives, Raphael plays dead, and Naru realizes that the creature cannot see him. Raphael is killed after the predator steps on his wounded leg, causing him to scream. Tabi arrives on horseback to rescue Naru. Together they weaken the creature, but it kills Tabi after stabbing him through the back. Naru flees and finds the surviving lead Frenchman. She knocks him out, severs one of his legs, and gives him an unloaded gun before eating the herbs to hide her body heat, baiting the creature to kill the voyager. She uses Adolini's pistol to ambush the predator, knocking off its laser targeting mask, and she steals it and flees into the woods. Naru lures the predator into a mud-filled bog pit before using the creature's mask to turn its own projectile weapon against it. The predator dies of its wounds, and Naru severs its head and paints her face with its glowing green blood. She brings the head and the flintlock pistol back to her tribe. They honor her victory by declaring Naru a war chief. A cave painting in the end credits depicts 3 predator spaceships arriving in Comanche territory.
Hell yeah. I think that was like just a perfect enough ending for, like, with the cave paintings to open the door for a new story if they wanted to.
Agreed.
But also just keeping it like closed off enough so it's just like, oh, now it's just we've always had a predator on Earth or something like that.
Yeah. If it has to be a one-off, it still works.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, starting off with story. This is like, for me at least, this is an interesting instance of not a super complicated story, but it worked out for what it was. Like, it's kind of the same feelings I had with, like, with The Princess from last week. This movie knew what it was about, and it didn't try to, like, force a crazy story on us, or, like, try to overcomplicate anything. It just kept it as basic could be. And I think it worked out incredibly well. It was still, like, a really intriguing story. Like, what did you think?
Yeah, overall, I had a good time. I have never seen a Predator movie in my life, which is funny because I remember when the first Alien Predator came out, because that was like the same time Freddy vs. Jason was coming out, and so I remember actually like going to the movie theater and like seeing both of those posters side by side. It's a weird memory that I have. That was a really cool thing. But so yeah, shockingly, I haven't seen a Predator movie, but thankfully, with how they set up the story, you don't have to, because I wasn't lost at all. I mean, my sister like explained like, oh, you know, like this is why the Predator does what it does. But other than that, I didn't need really any explanation. I didn't get lost. So sorry. Go.
No, I was just gonna say, I honestly don't think you even needed that.
I agree.
Like, I think you could have gone into this completely blind with how well they pulled everything off. It's just like, they let you learn with the main character.
That is true.
Like, you learned its motivations. Movies. Yeah. She's a big fan of them?
Oh yeah, she loves Predator movies, so she kind of wanted me to just have like a little insight.
Dude, she should have been on.
Shit. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll get her on for another Predator movie. Maybe, we'll see. If we ever do another Predator. Like, okay, find out what her favorite Predator movie is, and we'll do an episode with her.
Okay, deal.
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, like, that was something that I really appreciated, because Brielle's a lot more familiar with the Predator. Like, her favorite series is the Alien series, so she's pretty familiar with Predator. And so I only know of Predator what happened in, like, the one that came out a few years ago. Just the Predator movie.
The one that everyone hates.
Yeah, which I think it gets a lot of hate, but whatever. Like, what the hell do I know? Anyway,
I mean, hey, you're entitled to your own opinion.
Yeah, but it's also, I'm not super familiar with everything else, but I felt like I had so many questions when it came to that movie that I was asking Brielle. I was just like, hey, who's this? Who's that? Like, what's up with this? What's up with that? Like, just a lot of questions like that, where with this one, I didn't feel like I needed any of that. And it wasn't even necessarily because I knew some of those answers. It was because they just did a great job at explaining everything and just, like, allowing us to learn with, what's her face? Naru. So, I appreciated the hell out of that. And just her story of wanting to be a hunter, or looked at as a hunter, and it's more just to, like, it wasn't her, she didn't have some, like, deep-seated motivation to be a hunter, like, where it's like, I feel like it's in my blood or something like that. She's just like, because you guys said I couldn't.
I love that,
like,
kind of attitude.
I know, I loved it too. I'm just like, more power to you. Like, hell yeah. Like, I'm all for that. Like, if they would have given her some bullshit reason, just like,
it was my father's dying wish.
Yeah, I would have just been like, I would have been so over that. But just the fact that she's just like, because you guys think I can't, like, I love that. Love it.
No, I really like that they literally base the story off of just this one girl along with her tribe, but then we're able to work in a predator story as well.
Yeah, it worked effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think the only thing that they may have over-explained, which I wouldn't even say they over-explained it. It was just that they offered the whole thing of saying, like, what the trial was that she had to do. I don't think they have the name of it in the Wikipedia description, but the trial that a hunter needs to go through, where you need to hunt what's hunting you.
Oh yeah,
like I loved that, and then
that was great.
It was awesome, and I love that they didn't try to do too much foreshadowing with the predator. Like, it's just
agreed.
Just some crazy stuff. We get to see the predator. Like, they do kind of give him like a really cool entrance when we see the snake fighting that are trying to attack that mouse, and then predator comes and freaking like wrecks it.
Yeah, dude. I'll fully admit, I never wanted to see not only an unskinned snake, but an unskinned bison. That's something I could have gone my whole life without seeing, but thank you to this movie, I appreciate it.
Dude, so Iris came out she was in...
Good Lord.
Okay, so she came out when the snake was, like, skinned and everything, and I was just like, oh, shit. But she came out and she like looked at it for a second, and she just turned to me and she's like, yucky worm, and then runs away. And I'm like,
oh my god, I love that.
I'm like, you're not 100% wrong.
That's my daughter.
Yeah.
Is that a proud dad moment right there?
Yeah. So that was pretty good.
It's amazing.
I'm like, that might be something that comes back to haunt you, but it's not a problem right now, so...
Yeah. We're good.
Yeah. Dude, total side note, though. So Brielle bought these, like, super cheap dollar store lights and hung them on her bed. And the batteries on one of them started dying, so the lights were flickering. And Iris like started like oh no, like kind of getting scared, and she's just like, she was telling me, she's like scary, and I was like, that's not scary, that's spooky's fun. And she's just like, spooky? And so I was like, yeah, spooky's fun. And so now, like, whenever she's doing something and she's trying to like scare you, she'll say spooky.
Oh my god.
Like, she came out from a nap, and like she threw her blanket over her head and was walking towards me and just saying spooky.
Oh, that is freaking adorable.
I know. Oh my gosh, I freaking love her. Anyway, getting back to the story.
Are you sure I can't buy her a Michael Myers mask?
Dude, she might totally be into that. Like, 100% honesty, she might totally be into that.
No. Chucky, like, come on.
Oh my gosh. Another freaking side note. We were at Walmart last week, I think. And we were walking around, and I found this... It was a freaking Chucky outfit. It was straight up a Chucky outfit. Same color pattern. It was blue overalls and everything. But if you pull the overalls down a little bit, it exposes a mini. Like a Minnie Mouse. And I'm like,
interesting.
No, this is straight up Chucky.
Just need the Good Guys logo on the...
Dude, I kid you not. It had like the bright buttons. It had like the pocket on the overalls. The shirt matched to a freaking T. It was freaking Chucky. But no, it was something Disney, and I'm like, bullshit.
Universal, you should trademark Disney for that.
I know. Dude, next time we go to Walmart, I'll see if it's still there and take a picture for you.
Yes, please. I gotta see this.
Anyway, getting back to the story. It's tough like, I had to remind myself a lot while I was thinking of the score, or like where I was wanting to be with the scores. Like trying to remind myself, like, what do we score? And for me it was like, okay, we score on how well the story flows. Does it make sense? Does it like have any slow parts or unnecessary parts or any of this other weird shit? Like, how did all that work to progress the story? And even though the story was basic as all hell, like on paper, I think it sounds super boring, but the way that they executed it was just was really freaking good.
Agreed.
So I'm in the high 80s for the story.
Same here.
Where are you sitting at?
You know, I'm sitting at an 86.
Nice. I'm actually sitting a little bit higher than you at an 88.
I like it.
All right, moving on over to writing.
So I feel this goes with like the whole like subtitles and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you knew this, but apparently there's an option when you start this movie or you go on its page that you can actually turn on the subtitles for when they're speaking to each other in their native language.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm like, that would have been nice to know, because
That would have been super nice to know.
Yeah, that would have been nice to know what they were saying.
Shit, dude, that's why I was like so confused. Like, I didn't let it bother me that much because I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, they're speaking English through a majority of this. They're just speaking. Oh, that's another thing. Total side note. This is one of the first movies that can be translated into Comanche.
That is awesome.
Right?
That is really cool.
Yeah, like, I don't know how many people speak it, but like, knowing that that's an option for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. Like, I think the 3 languages you can translate this into are like English, French, and Comanche. Or those are like the 3 main.
Oh, not Spanish?
I would assume Spanish. I don't know. It's just those are the ones that they like talk about. Like the big ones.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like the dialogue worked really well. I think it worked better like with the Comanche people, like her tribe. Like when they were speaking to each other, like I felt like I understood the gist of what they were like trying to get across, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I think where the dialogue like kind of dies for me is when they introduced the French. The French were just really freaking intense, and it just didn't really work super well for me.
I really wish I would have been able to turn on the English subtitles there.
Yeah, right? Like, there was definitely some words that I was able to pick up, like, the freaking big dude that she gets Predator to bushwhack.
Oh, such a great scene. Like,
calling her an idiot savage. Like, I'm just like, ooh, freaking, like, you're gonna get pwned, dude. But really, really enjoyed that stuff. And I really enjoy, like, this is like one of those things, I'm not quite sure how this works in relation to the other Predator movies. But the stuff that she was able to pick up about the Predator, like just those like little details about him, like noticing that he only attacks people like that pose a threat to him. Like he'll never like attack someone that's like defenseless or that doesn't pose a threat. And
yeah.
I think the only, like, I did have an issue with the way that she worded it, where she's like, oh, he, like, stood above me, could have killed me, but didn't, because he saw that I wasn't a threat. I'm like, he also just bushwhacked a bear. Like, I'm pretty sure he's still, like, recovering from that. Like, he's probably like, oh, this chick, and friggin' sent you on your way. Like, didn't really give two shits.
And also, for how much blood he was drenched in, I'm sure he could really even see her that well.
Yeah, right? I'd be like, sensors might have been a little off. But, yeah, that stuff was so cool. The writing, unfortunately, for me, just drops a little bit below the story. Like, where I'm...
Because Sorry.
No, you're good. What were you saying?
Oh, no, I was going to say, I'm assuming, because the French people.
That's a majority of it, yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Everything else, like the dialogue between them and the Comanche, I mean, it was good. Nothing, like, Oscar-worthy or nothing, but, like, it was really well done. So where I'm in the high 80s with the story, I'm probably in the low 80s with the writing.
Yeah, I can agree with you there as well.
So I'm probably sitting at like an 80 for writing.
You know what? I'm going to match you there.
All right, moving on over to acting. I have the cast pulled up here. 1 second. All right, we have Amber Midthunder, who plays Naru. We have Dakota Beavers, who played her brother, Taby. We have Dane DiLiegro, who did something for the Predator. Like, he's cast as Predator, so... I bet he was probably, like, the body.
Makes sense.
And I don't think there was anyone else that was in this enough to... Yeah. I don't think anyone else was in it enough to be mentioned. So those are like the big three.
I like it.
So...
You good?
Freaking hell. Like some big-ass bug flew on me.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, just a little bit. Shit. Anyway.
You sure you
Sorry.
don't want to try and find it?
No, I don't even know if I could.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, getting back into acting. This one's kind of tough to do like a top 3.
I think I can make it work, maybe. I don't know if you can.
Let's hear it. Let's see what you got.
Okay. So number 3, I would actually give to Dane DiLiegro for the way that his body language for the Predator. I loved it.
Good hell.
It works, right? What? It works. He's still an actor, and for being under so much prosthetics, I feel he does a great job with his motions. So that's why I'm giving number 3 too. And I'm not trying to make this a joke. Like, honestly, the people that like are behind like this much prosthetics, honestly, sometimes I feel they don't get enough credit or love. So kudos to you, Dane. You did a great job. 2, I would give to Dakota Beavers, who played Tabi. Great, really, really good character. He was the only part of Naru's tribe that I could actually stand. All the others were freaking jackasses, and they deserved everything that they had coming to them from the Predator. When he finally killed them, I was very, very happy.
Shit, man.
What?
Freaking brutal.
Oh, I know. And then number 1, shocker, Amber Mid-Thunder, who played Naru. She was amazing. She was so great. And I freaking loved her. So.
Alright. That's interesting. Dude, like, I love these ones where it's, like, really hard to do a top 3, or where I feel like it's hard, because I would actually swap, your number 2 and 3. Number
Really?
1, I'm absolutely giving to Amber Mid-Thunder for everything that she said. She just did an incredible job. But I would actually give it to Dane DeLiegro for my number 2, because, like you said, being like just the body for something, you have to. There's just a certain way that you have to move, where it's not too like Power Rangers, but it's not too like just standing there like being like a mascot. Like there's a really fine line, and I feel like actors who do a lot of theater, I'd love to see his IMDb and see if he's done some theater work before. I don't even know if that stuff would be on IMDb.
Yeah, I don't know if it would.
But I feel like he did do a really good job of just having that imposing body language. Like, just back straight, like, great posture, and I don't know, there's just something intimidating about that. And then him being built like a brick shit house helps a lot, too.
Oh, that's great.
But, yeah, and then, nothing against Dakota Beavers, I think he did a really good job. It's just, when you're comparing it against other, like, his co-stars, it's just not quite up on that level yet.
Fair enough.
And I think I had a hard time believing, like, I think it took a little extra effort for him to prove himself being like a warrior. Dude, I'm getting attacked by this bug and freaking pissing me off. Anyway, where are you at with acting? I'm trying so hard not to like disrupt the flow of the show, and you're just sitting here laughing at me.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm in the like. I would say I'm in the low 80s because it was still good. I think I'll go slightly higher than writing. So I'll go an 81. God
Okay.
damn it.
I'm a little bit higher than you. I think I'm gonna be in like 84 range.
All right.
Didn't quite get to like an 85. I do feel like there was some issues and dry spots here and there. I almost would have preferred if this whole thing would have been in subtitles.
You know what? Fair enough.
Like, if they would have just spoken, like, full-blown Comanche the entire time, I think I would have been fine.
Yeah, you know what? I can agree with that.
But, yeah, so I think, yeah. It's just the English, like, the switching back and forth kind of got a little, like, meh.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but, yeah, so 84 for me. Moving on over to character development. This one's kind of hard for me. Like, what genre is this considered?
It has to be
This
horror,
is an
right?
action. Action adventure drama. Not horror.
Huh?
Well, So that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, if it's horror, we need to talk about the logic of it. But this is technically an action adventure, so we have to talk about the character development and the character development of Naru, which I felt she had a great arc in this.
Good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, this actually might be my highest score.
Oh yeah, no, hands down. Like honestly, I feel that this has reached 90 status in my opinion, because seeing her from when this movie starts out, like how Kayla pointed out, literally her attitude is, "Oh well, I'm gonna do this just because you guys said I couldn't. I'm gonna prove you guys wrong," and I freaking love that mentality. And just seeing her journey throughout the whole movie, just not only trying to get her people to believe that this creature is not a bear, it's nothing that they've ever seen before, it's completely different, but also seeing her finally prove herself and actually be able to defeat the Predator. And I feel like the icing on top was when she freaking took the green blood and just streaked it across her face for like a tribal face paint. That I freaking loved that so much. So yeah, great character arc. So I'm gonna go a solid 90.
That's actually exactly where I would be too. I think they did a really good job at giving us like a good proper arc, like someone who kind of needs some extra life lessons to learn different things and like more or less proving herself and like needing to do certain things to prove herself. And the way that she's able to learn and adapt and basically like do things that she's constantly being told that she can't do, and then just overcoming those obstacles. Like I really liked how right before her brother died that he revealed, like more or less told her like, hey, the only reason I was able to kill this lion at all was because I followed your plan. Like, these animals, you understand their behavior better than I ever could. Like, you see things that I don't, and you always have been able to do that. And then with just always kind of having this skill and this eye to catch things. Like, she was able to catch on to things like Predator not killing people that were like harmless, being able to figure out like, oh, they can't see this person when their blood is so low, and just all this other, like, their thermal stuff doesn't really work right, which she was just able to deduce based off of the medicine that she was giving people. Like, she's just so freaking smart, and the way that they go about sharing that with us was really well done. And then ultimately getting to the point where she goes from, like, kind of the prey to the predator in her own sense was just epic. Like, I really liked how she, the conversation that she was having with that French dude, like right before the Predator came, and then she took her, like, those herbs and lowered her blood temperature and was able to, like, hear him and move out of his way right before he like hit her. Like, freaking like a boss, dude. So good.
It was so good.
Yeah, there was so little about her character that I disliked. So, yeah, definitely in the 90s for me. All right, moving on over to effects. Where are you sitting there?
Overall, I think the effects were great. The blood spewing guts were great. The animals having their skin turned inside out was absolutely disgusting, but it looked great. Especially that freaking wide shot of all the bison, just ugh, it's disgusting. Yeah, no, honestly, I really don't have any complaints with the effects. I mean, I don't know what the budget was for this movie, but whatever the budget was, I feel that they definitely did not skimp out on the effects.
Let's see if they have the. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
I feel nowadays if it's a streaming movie, they usually don't, which sucks.
Like they don't have the budget.
Yeah, just because. Since they won't have to report the box office, they feel that they don't need to report the budget.
Right. Yeah, I actually had. I think all my issues were with the Predator. I think they overused the invisibility or the cloaking technology a little too much.
See, I loved that.
It looked cool. It looked cool as hell. It's just, I think there were times where it wasn't super necessary. Like when he was walking through like the ash-ridden forest area, and it was like hitting him, and you could basically see him. I feel he should have just shut it off.
Fair enough.
Everything else looked really good. I think the only thing that was like that really stood out to me and as not great was when I forget if it was during the French fight or with the Comanches, but when they had his blood on them, it looked like digitally added.
For some reason, I'm not remembering that part.
Like there was just like spots of the blood on their knees or just somewhere on their person, and it just the way that it was catching light just didn't feel supernatural. But then there were other times where it looked really good, like when she came walking into the village with like the glowing paint across her face. Like that looked really good. Like it looked like they were actually using glow in the dark paint.
Yeah.
But it's just for some reason whenever they were fighting him, it just didn't look that good. Definitely got to give props to the stunt coordination on this. Like they did some good work. Definitely not on like the same level as like the Princess, but it was still really solid. With that, I think I'm around like the same as Story. I'm like at an 88.
No, I'll match you there.
All right, next up we got music. This was one of those things that it's just nothing too special about it.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for the scenes that it needed to either, be more dramatic or kind of softer tone. But yeah, nothing really stood out that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you could say with this kind of movie, you don't really need it to.
Yeah.
But
so I think with definitely given that, I think a 6 is more than fair.
Yeah, I can agree with the 6.
All right, next up we got costumes, and I gotta say I loved the costumes. Just the way that all of the Comanches, the villagers looked was awesome. Like I don't know, I'm not super well versed in like historical accuracy or anything like that, but from what we saw, they looked great. Naru's outfit was awesome. Freaking, just I think it just added something, like her kind of having like the fringe was really cool. And just everything with her, like when she painted her face, like right before fighting Predator and everything, like she was a freaking badass. And she looked amazing. And then that's not even getting into the Predator itself.
Oh,
his helmet, so cool. Dude, was the shit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely agree.
I loved his helmet. I loved how that looked. I've always just kind of been a big fan of like how the Predator looks in general. But man, there was just something about this helmet that just made him seem like almost like a caveman.
Yeah, I kind of did.
And it was so good. Like so freaking epic. So I'm having a hard time not giving this any. I think we're going to give it a 9 just for fairness sake. I don't think it's quite at a 10 yet.
I can match you there.
I was talking it up, and then I kind of took a second to just like reel it in. Like you, like is that the critic in you, or is that the you? Like me personally, solid 10. The critic in me knows like, not the best, but it was good.
Yeah, no, I get you, man.
So amazing work to the costume designers on this one. All right, last up we got personal score. You want me to go first, or you wanna?
No, I can go first. Overall, I had a pretty damn good time with this movie. Like I said earlier, I've never seen any of the Predator movies, but that didn't matter because you didn't have to. This movie, literally, they tell you everything that you need to know about the Predator. And they don't show any connections to the other movies, which definitely makes it a lot easier to understand. The main protagonist is so good; she is amazing, and it's a simple, not simple story, but like I feel for a Predator movie, I feel maybe, I don't know, from like maybe like the clips that I've seen for like how big they sometimes go with these Predator movies, this might be like, is this like a little more of a grounded Predator movie?
I would say so.
Okay.
Like, from what I know of the other Predator movies, and from what I saw in the newest one, they go pretty heavy on like everything. Like it's like super advanced technology and all this like super complicated like computerized work, or like the interface that the Predator uses. It's just, it is very heavy on like the sci-fi side. So seeing them take this into like so far into the past, like going back 300 years from just going so far back and seeing like the evolution, or not even evolution, the de-evolution that they had to do for the Predator was just awe-inspiring. It was so good.
Yeah, no. Caleb put it best. So yeah, overall, like I said, had a really good time with this movie. Honestly, more than I thought I would. So I'm gonna go a solid 84.
Yeah, I had a great time with this movie as well. Didn't quite like I kind of went in with the expectation that it was going to be like a shut your brain off film, and I don't think it was. I think it could be if you wanted it to. Like, I think it definitely could just be like, oh, just go in, shut your brain off, don't worry about it. But I think that would be doing the movie an injustice if you were to do that.
Absolutely agree.
I think you need to go into this like wanting to see something more than just crazy action and killing. I think that they do a really good job at building a character that we grow to care about and root for. Because in the other movies, or the other movie that I've seen, I was rooting for the Predator. Like, I'm like, freaking, these assholes are annoying. Freaking just get them. But this, like, Naru was such a good, well-written character that I found myself rooting for her. And, like, so that's the biggest praise that I can give this movie. Like, hey, you made a character that I actually didn't want to die. So, really appreciated that. I might be a little lower than you on my personal score, though. I think I'm down to, like, an 82. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good, and it was really fun, just not quite on the same level as you, I would say.
Fair enough. All right, well, actually, wait, no. You got to do your part. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Sorry about that.
Well, with that concludes this week's breakdown. This one was a little shorter than our previous ones. Like, I think we're slowly getting faster with them. Maybe.
It's always nice to throw in a shorter episode every now and again.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so the final All Bros letter grade for Prey has come to a B.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I just realized I forgot to go through the scores of each of the categories. So our story score averaged out at an 87. Writing went a little bit on the lower end, went down to an 80. Acting jumped up a couple points to 82.5. Our highest score, character development, is sitting at a solid 9 or 90. The effects were really good, just dropped a couple points down to an 88. Music sitting at a 6. It was like everything worked for the scene. Nothing too special though. Costumes, amazing, giving it a 9. And then our personal score averaged out to an 83. So the percentage that Prey is sitting at is at an 84.43%.
Not bad.
Yeah, so really quick, comparing this to other B movies, maybe, if it wants to work for me. Alright, so Prey, like I said, is sitting at an 84.43%, which puts it below Christopher Robin, which is at an 84.56, puts it below The Matrix Resurrections, which is at an 84.70, puts it below The Oath, which is at an 85, puts it below The Lion King, which is at an 85.1, and then puts it below The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is at an 85.37.
All right.
Yeah, but it puts it above Avengers Age of Ultron, which is at an 84.37. Puts it above Solo, which was at an 84.21. Puts it above Free Guy, which is at an 84.06. and then puts it above Thor Ragnarok, which is at an 83.90. So
Not bad.
yeah, that's a tough one to disagree with.
Yeah,
Like,
I would agree.
I'm always like somewhat hesitant whenever I see an Avengers movie. But this one, I'll say yeah, it is above Age of Ultron.
Yeah, as much as I love Age of Ultron, yeah, I can definitely agree with it.
Yeah, so I think it has a pretty decent home.
I agree. Well, if you like what you heard and you want to follow and subscribe to us so you can listen to more of our amazing voices. I don't know why I paused for so long there. That was weird. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, everywhere you listen to podcasts, we are there. Like where you're listening to this right now.
Yeah.
You can also catch all of our episodes on YouTube if that's your preferred listening platform. You can follow us on our social media where you can DM us with episode ideas, answer our questions of the week. I wasn't even going to say that because I feel we kind of just abandoned that.
I feel like we have to. It's getting sad.
Yeah. Or if you would like to join us, we will gladly have anybody on. And so if you want to reach us on those platforms, you can do so. You got facebook.com/The Allbros for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Allbros. Or you can email us at theallbroschannel@gmail.com if that is your preferred way to contact us. You can check us out on, you can check out our website at tinyurl.com/The Allbros, where you can get to know us a little bit more, as well as if you guys want to get a design printed on either like a t-shirt, mug, whatever, that's the best place to go because that's the place where trademark hasn't beaten us and companies haven't taken down all of Caleb's cool shit.
Yep.
So if you want to actually be able to acquire the merchandise that you actually want, that's probably the best way to go about. But if you would still prefer to get your stuff from TeePublic, you can do so at teepublic.com/user/The Allbros channel. Next week on the podcast, I think, what would you say, we're like 95% sure on this?
Yes.
Okay. We are 95% sure that we'll be breaking down Jordan Peele's new movie, Nope. So, yeah, you can look forward to that next week. But until then, this has been the Allbros Podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we will catch you guys next week. So long.
Deuces.